Hello everybody, welcome back. Let's have a look at some of these coins then, shall we? We'll start with Bitcoin, because we kind of need to look at this to get a brief overview of what's going on. So, Bitcoin looking to me as though it wants to make another stab of getting close to this descending trend again. Maybe not tonight, maybe tomorrow, but we are right in the pretty much in the middle of it. We have had decent support at this level here, which was, well, it's not really a great level to be supported at. You could argue that we've been trying to bounce around the 7,250 area, but realistically the overall direction is definitely down. I am expecting a little pump up to maybe not this level, but to get a little bit closer. If we do get to this level, again, depending on the speed that we get up to it, we might break it. But again, I can't stress enough, my overall take on this chart is still down. I imagine you watch my videos regularly, so I'm not going to bore you with the ins and outs of why I'm saying Bitcoin is so bearish, but yeah, the direction is likely to come down to test at least the 6,000 area, the 6,600 area. I think we'll probably find sort of decent supports around 6,800, 6,600, and it's just a matter of chipping away at these levels before we break down. Or, I suppose, you could argue we get the giant bounce that will push us and break us above it. We could have a dead cat bounce, basically, that breaks above this area, and if we have a candle body close above this area, basically I would say that we have a chance of continuation. So it's always worth, and I'm just saying this because I'm not a financial advisor, it's not financial advice, but it's always worth considering taking a long, especially at these levels here, just in case. You're likely to get a little bit of money out of it anyway. There is a risk that would break down, which is always why I would suggest putting in a very tight stop loss, just in the event that we just break down, and even if it's just a scalp, but the idea is, if we break above here with a candle body close, we basically should go bullish at that point and a full-on reversal. Now then, let's continue to Matic, which is the coin of the hour, the most impressive sort of chart of the last couple of weeks. And what's going on here then? So yeah, we found our top being this level here. The reason we topped out at that level, I'll get out of that horrible 4-hourly chart. The reason we topped out at that level is because we topped out at that level on our first attempt to break it. Back here, this is where we found our highest candle body closes of Matic's entire history on a daily chart, and we were basically rejected from that. Fair enough. So looking at the chart now on the daily, what do we see? We see that we've broken down beneath the 2.7, which is okay. We can accumulate in this area, which is kind of what I expected in the first place. To break above this level at this speed was not something I was counting on, but we can. It looks as though the support is stronger than a rejection at the moment, being supported on the first moving average here, which is the 7-day close. So, that's where we found our support from, which is fine, because if each of these moving averages is technically a support, and then we've got a variety of different supports, plus the old 2 cent area, which is the big level support to keep us up. If Bitcoin comes back down and comes down dramatically, Matic will also come back down dramatically. It depends on where it takes us. I mean, the centre of our Bollinger Band is all the way back down here, but provided we stay above the 1.5 cent, which I know is ridiculous because that's almost like maybe like a 40% retrace. But if so, as long as we stay above there, we're still in bullish territory technically for a continuation. I don't think that's likely to happen. I think if Bitcoin breaks down, we will break down, Bitcoin will bounce, and Matic will bounce too. The last time Bitcoin broke down badly, Matic broke down badly, and it essentially catapulted this entire move. It wasn't because of that, but that was definitely part of the reason we moved so dramatically, because we had bullish signals on the Satoshis, so it was almost inevitable that we were going to have decent moves. Maybe not moves as big as this, but buying Matic down at this level on that pullback would have been, well, gold dust for anybody that did do it. And there has been obviously clearly a lot of people doing it to find a support level like this. So, you know, I've made an in-depth video yesterday, and I've made an in-depth video the days prior to that, so there's not really a great deal more for me to say regarding Matic, other than that, yeah, I would expect a pullback if Bitcoin pulls back. If Bitcoin doesn't pull back, I expect a continuation of this move. It's only until we have a big pullback from Bitcoin that we'll see a dramatic pullback with Matic. Matic's likely to continue this move. Currently, people are taking profit. It's you could call it a bit of redistribution, but I think I'd rather call it technically a bit more accumulation. Accumulation takes a longer period of time to happen, but this is, from what I see, people selling at what they would consider to be the top, judging that the top was marked off at this level here, and basically looking to buy back in, probably at a bit more safer level. People are a little wary perhaps of what Bitcoin's going to do. I'm not the only body that's calling for a $6,000 Bitcoin at some point in the future. Anyway, let's look at what happened here. So this is a good thing. Yesterday we closed the weekly candle, and the weekly candle is, without question, the largest weekly candle close that Matic has ever seen, and that would make it a very bullish candle. So we are probably going to be looking to see weekly candle closes in the green, probably for the next few weeks. There will of course be red candles, there has to be. There's no reason why there wouldn't be red candles in amongst these, but it depends on where it's taking us. I would expect to see continuation of this move for a variety of reasons explained in my previous videos. So yeah, I mean, just to let you know that we did close the weekly just beneath 2.7, which is no big deal, because the important thing is we've got the largest weekly candle that's ever happened with Matic. So I'm really just going to call it a quick little video like that. I've made very long, large videos the last couple of days going into detail of what's caused this, what sort of areas we're looking to achieve, the supports and resistances, and they're all basically laid out very crudely on this little chart that I've got for you here. So just to recap, 2.7 cent is an area to be broken and turn to support. Unfortunately, it's not support right now. When it does turn to support, our next area will be this area here at 3 cent. The reason being, we were rejected from 3 cent, the 3 cent area on 3 candle bodies on the daily there. We have had giant wicks above there, but the 3 cent area is clearly going to be a resistance too. And then once that's broken, essentially we got a 3.5 cent where our wick landed there, and then you can call that a support, obviously, because that was our absolute all-time high, 4.4 or 4.5 cent. That's all we've got to go by right now, and that's all we need to worry about. Like I say, if we come down now, even if we come down to the mid 2 cent areas, the lower areas, it's not really a problem, because we've come up so high. I think we're still up around about 100% from this level here, not even counting this level here. This level here above the green 50 EMA, where we've been accumulating all this time. So like I say, it's still good news, Matic's likely to pop again. If it cools off for the moment, that's good actually, because again, we don't want to see continuing giant big candles all the time. We want to see a bit of accumulation, even a little bit of a pullback actually, maybe. It's the sort of things we would like to see, because that's healthy growth. You can't just keep going up, that's just not right. Anyway, if you're holding bags of Matic, don't stress, don't worry. If it goes down, you know, it's just a little blip on the screen. And I'm telling you, at this point next year, this, as big as this chart looks right now, will probably look like a little drop in the ocean. It will be hard to even register it on the chart, because the chart will have grown, you know, quite large by then. I'm still calling January for between a 5 to as much as a 10 cent Matic. 10 cent being quite unlikely, but still within the realms of possibilities. But yeah, an all-time high is just around the corner, some point in January, I would say, because the market will have picked up by then, and that's what needs to happen. If the market picks up, Matic will pick up, along with all the other altcoins will be picking up. Anyway, I'll leave it with you there. Thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice evening. Take care. Thanks for watching.